Well, hey, hi, hello. I'm so happy to be visiting with you again. Today, I just wanted to drop in real quick and kind of give an update about some things that are going on here in Colorado. And I wanted to share them with you as a means of education because it is so important to have knowledge, have facts, not just our emotions and our feelings when it comes to legislation. And when we talk about laws, it's something that I'm not sure how I ended up so ingrained in a lot of these issues, but it's because a lot of them affect us in a roundabout way. And I'm a hunter, so I understand hunting. I'm also a hunter ed instructor. I'm a volunteer for the state of Colorado, and I teach conservation. And when I'm teaching, it's something that I have taken a lot of classes. I've also learned from my dad and from our grandparents. We learned this from our ancestors, how to manage wild animals. I'll link in the show notes some past episodes where I talk about the North American model of wildlife conservation. And there are several episodes where we've kind of talked about how to manage wildlife. So I wanted to just let you know before I kind of dive into this topic that I do have a lot of knowledge about it. I am not a wildlife biologist, but I have done a lot of education and a lot of classes and a lot of things to learn. And I hope that you want to learn too. If these are topics you already learn about, my goal is to encourage you to go out and teach and educate other people because we need help now. And this is something that's very desperate. I had the Sportsmen's Alliance on recently. I'll link that episode in the show notes as well. And we talked about some things that are going on in other states that are going to be very detrimental to wildlife populations. And what's going on is some people think they're helping the animals, and they think they love animals more than we do, more than hunters do. And the fact of the matter is that we cannot love the animals by not managing the animals. Basically, this management that they're deeming conservation is actually preservation. It means no use, no management, no consumption, no management of the population levels. And that's a preservation model, not a conservation model. And preservation leads to death, illness. It leads to the loss of habitat. It leads to a diminished carrying capacity of wildlife. And what that means is that there's not enough food, there's not enough water, shelter, space, and there's not enough abundance to sustain those wildlife populations. So we have to manage them. And there is a goal in the United States, and it's called the rewilding of the West. And what they want to do is renew the ways of the wild animals 100 years ago. And it's a simple fact. And as I said, emotion drives this a lot. It's a simple fact that back in the 1800s, we didn't have the population of humans that we have now. And we have impeded on the wildlife's habitat. We've messed up the arrangement of their habitat, the food, water, shelter, space. We block their access with highways, interstates, subdivisions, solar panels, all kinds of things block the wildlife. And so we are a part of this equation now in a way that we weren't 100 years ago. Being a part of the equation, we have to take part in the responsibility of managing the wildlife. And so with that, there comes in either hunters who pay for a hunting license, they spend the money, they give to the community by spending money in those communities, whether they're residents or non-residents that come to hunt. They're going to be spending money, and that is a great income to the communities in rural areas. They spend the money on that. If we don't have the hunters, what happens in states like California, and now it's happening in Washington, and it's going to be happening in Oregon and Colorado and New Mexico, we're both on the slate to lose our vast majority of the hunts. And when you don't have that, what goes on is the government has to be the hunter. And when the government is the hunter, what happens is we, the taxpayers, get to pay more taxes, and we have somebody, a wildlife officer, a game warden, a government trapper. We pay them to go and kill these animals. And then they're not used for consumption. And the topic that I'm going to be talking about today is about mountain lions. And this ballot initiative, I'll just go ahead and tell you, there's a ballot initiative in Colorado to ban what is called trophy hunting. Mountain lions are not trophies. They're wild animals. They're wild cats. They're pumas. They're cougars. They're not trophies. And I'll tell you what else. Deer and elk are not trophies either. And there may be record books and such like that, but record books are designed to honor an animal and how vast and mature it has become. It is sometimes based on the habitat and the minerals that they can consume there. And that habitat is managed by hunters and by wildlife officers who are scientists. These biologists, they know how to manage the land. So again, they need food, water, shelter, space. Those antlers get big by having certain things to help them grow. Just like long hair, we have collagen, we have different things that we eat. Our nutrition will show on us. A wild animal's nutrition will show on them. I digress. What I wanted to talk to you today, and I wanted to read this ballot initiative. It is just introduced on September 22nd, and I wanted to kind of go over it with you because this is something that will be voted on in 2024. So they have to get all their signatures for this initiative. Once they get the signatures, then it'll go on the ballot. They're already pleading on people because it's not just mountain lions, it's also bobcat and lynx. And lynx are already not hunted in Colorado. They're actually protected under endangered species. So they are not even hunted right now. This is a way they are covering their bases for if the lynx are recovered. They don't want them hunted once they're recovered. And they also are covering their bases because some things in this initiative will eliminate a lot of other hunting as well. So I just wanted to let you know, it says Section 1 in the Colorado Revised Statutes, add 33-4-101.4 as follows. And we'll just kind of highlight some of this, but I just wanted to start out with the main introductory paragraph here, or point 1. The voters of Colorado find and declare that any trophy hunting of mountain lions, bobcats, or lynx is inhumane. How is hunting inhumane? It's not inhumane. What's inhumane is when a cat is struck and it suffers and a car hits it and it has to suffer and die on the side of the road when nobody can take its life and put it out of its misery. That's inhumane. What is humane is a hunter who practices, he studies. To hunt a mountain lion, you don't only have to have hunter education, you also have to take a mountain lion hunting education course. To help identify the mountain lions, there are a lot of rules and restrictions, and I will tell you, they banned hunting years ago via ballot initiative as well of bears with dogs. And right now in Colorado, we can use dogs to hunt mountain lions. Mountain lions are just wonderful animals, and the dogs are a wonderful tool for hunting the animals. The dogs don't attack or tear up the animal. What they do, they pursue it. Mountain lions have fairly small lungs. Their distance that they can run, they are fast, but they can't go super far. So they will climb a tree or try to get on some point where they can get away from the dogs. What this does, it gives us a chance to examine the animal. We can look, we can see if it has spots. It's probably a young animal. We don't want to shoot that. If it happens to be a female, we need to go and look and see if it has cubs. If there are any little tiny paw prints around where we've found the larger cat prints, then it probably has cubs. We cannot shoot it. If it's a male and it's mature, then yes, we can shoot that. Or if it's a female that does not have cubs, yes, we can shoot that. And here's what the thing about this is. If it's an animal that is not one that we would shoot, what do? The dogs have it in the tree. You take the leash, you clip it on the dog's collar, and you walk away. You leave the animal there, and once you're gone, it's going to feel safe, and it's going to descend from the tree and continue on with its life. So dogs are a wonderful tool. They give us a chance to examine what we're shooting. If you've ever seen a mountain lion in the wild, I would love to hear about it. You can email me. The email address is contact@miaanstine.com or direct message me on social media. I would love to hear about it if you have seen a mountain lion in the wild when you're not hunting. When we're hunting mountain lions, I will tell you, it is the most challenging hunt that I have ever done. And I will actually link one of our past episodes about a mountain lion hunt so that you can go ahead and scroll back when you're done with this episode and learn about that hunt. But let's continue with this initiative, the proposal. So they said it's inhumane. It serves no socially acceptable or ecological benefit or purpose and fails to further public safety. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hunting is not about public safety, but we do have hunter safety classes to help make people more safe. But when we're hunting, it's conservation that we're doing, and we're managing wildlife populations. As I mentioned, we have to take hunter safety classes, a mountain lion class, then we have to buy a mountain lion hunting license. And just because you buy a license doesn't mean you get to take a mountain lion. You have to call in every morning. There is a quota, and the quotas are based on demographic areas or game management units in Colorado. And you call in the morning, or you check on the internet now, and you see, is the quota still open? If it's open, you can hunt. If it's closed, if the number of mountain lions have been killed in that area, you're done. And that is to manage the wildlife populations. It is not to keep the mountain lion from killing your neighbor's dog, although that is one of the reasons why people hunt mountain lions. It's not about public safety. That's interesting. I thought that was an interesting thing to throw in there. Again, we'll continue on. Trophy hunting is practiced primarily for display of an animal's head, fur, or other body parts rather than for utilization of meat. Whoa! Stop. Go to my website. I have recipes for mountain lion, and I actually have friends. Whenever a mountain lion is taken, you will hear the phone call, and you're like, hey, can I have a mountain lion steak? Can I have some burger? Can I have some ground meat? Because mountain lion is actually delicious. And as I said, check out my website. I have recipes on there. I'll link one or two in the show notes below. So this just is starting out, this initiative. As I said, we need to know facts, not fallacy. And this first paragraph, I'm not even halfway through it. The first paragraph, it's all emotion. They're trying to go to the non-hunters' emotions and steer them in the direction that we're abusing these animals. We're inhumane to the animals. We don't consume the animals. These animals don't need to be managed because they're killing deer, elk, cattle, sheep, that kind of stuff. That's not in this first paragraph. I want you to think about this. I want you to educate people, find ways to educate people about this, and please share it. If you have ideas for me, as I said, email me, contact@miaanstine.com, or message me on social media. Consumption of meat. Yes, it is organic meat. It is keto friendly. It is carnivore friendly. It is paleo friendly, and it's great. I have great recipes. Let's continue. In here, they say, moreover, it is almost always conducted by unsporting means, including but not limited to using packs of dogs with electronic devices to pursue and entrap the affected animals in places from which they cannot escape in order to achieve the kill. Well, I already told you why we use the dogs. It's more to, yes, it does tree them so we can kill them if we want to, but also we can examine them. We can see if it's a large animal, if it's mature, if it's immature. We can check that out, and the dogs allow us to just let it go. If you see an animal running by in the wild, you don't have time to do that. You get to take the shot and then later examine it. So the dogs are highly important in the inspection of the animal as you're hunting. Let's continue with the last sentence of this paragraph. Therefore, it is appropriate and necessary to ban trophy hunting of mountain lions, bobcats, and lynx in Colorado. We already cannot hunt lynx in Colorado. That first paragraph there also doesn't really say a lot about the bobcats. Bobcats are primarily hunted via trapping. And another ballot initiative years ago was a ballot initiative to eliminate leg holds, conibears, all those things. And so now we can only use a box trap, live trap, so they go into the box and then they cannot get out. the law also says we have to check those every 24 hours. I have another episode about trapping that you can listen to. I'll link that in the show notes as well. But bobcats are generally trapped, and the good thing about these live traps and some of the other there are other humane traps out there, but we can only use the live traps, is that we can look and we can examine, and if we see an animal in there that we are not allowed to kill or don't want to kill, we open the trap, release it, let it go. Okay? Lynx, if it happens to get in your trap or if your dog happens to tree it, you put your leash on the dog, you walk away. In the trap, you just open the door, you release the lynx, it walks away. And it is not legal to kill a lynx, okay, already. So I just wanted to let you know that this is an initiative. I will also put a link to it in our show notes so that you can see that and read it for yourself, the entire initiative. It's only 3 pages, 2.5 pages. But if you will read that and do what you can to help educate the general population about the fallacies that are written in this initiative. And we'll see whether this Secretary of State will sign this so that they can start collecting signatures or not. That will be available for comment, I believe, on October 6th. Another thing I'll link. There's going to be a lot of links for this episode in the show notes. But I also wanted to invite you to my book club. And it used to be behind like a membership wall. And with that, you had to sign up. There was no fee, but I do know that there were a few people who it was cumbersome to do that. So I've taken it away from there. What I will need you to do is just let me know that you want to sign up for it so I can keep you posted about when we're going to visit and talk about the books. And with that, I wanted to tell you the book of the month that we're going to read is called The Beast in the Garden. And this book is written by Dave Barron, and I'll just read you the front. The true story of a predator's deadly return to suburbia America. And we'll read the back for you. When leopard-sized cats begin appearing in the yards and driveways of Boulder, Colorado, residents of the environmentally aware college town cheer the news. Mountain lions, once bounty hunted, had returned to their ancestral home. As the monstrous cats feasted on pets and eyed humans as potential prey, political battles ensued and the community fractured until tragedy brought the warrior camps together. Not warrior, warring camps together. Here, in a spellbinding tale of man and beast, award-winning journalist Dave Barron chronicles a town's struggles to coexist with its wild neighbors and reconstructs the paved with good intentions path that led to the state's first recorded fatal mountain lion attack. A parable for our times, the book serves as a cautionary tale for countless communities now struggling to live with lions, wolves, bears, and other animals. As rebounding wildlife spreads in toward America's cities and America's cities sprawl ever outward into the wildlife's habitat. So that's going to be our book for October, and I hope that you'll consider reading that with me. And I'll put a link for that in the show notes as well. It is one of my Amazon affiliate links, no extra charge to you, but it does help support the show if you use the link. So I always appreciate that. If you have questions or comments, again, please reach out to me and please follow us on social media. I do try to keep us updated. I also will be sharing in future episodes. I have a lot of books on ecology for wild animals, and in 2023, in the past, 9 months, now we're in October, I used to share a fun fact of wildlife, and somehow or another, I think with the interviews, when we started adding all the interviews, I get distracted from the fun facts. But I'm going to start to share some fun facts about wildlife, and we'll start sharing that from the ecology books, just to help educate ourselves. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know because we don't have degrees in that. And maybe some of you listening are biologists. If you're a biologist and you listen to Mac Outdoors, I would love it if you came on the show. Reach out to me, and I would love to sit down and visit with you and just pick your brain about a lot of the stuff that is going on in the United States and around the world in this quest to rewild our communities. Until next time, have a great one, and I hope you are enjoying the fall season. Bye.